I release pressure, I receive support, and I rise with ease. I release limits, I receive growth, and I rise with vision. I release tension, I receive harmony, and I rise with strength. I release confusion, I receive direction, and I rise with focus. I release overthinking, I receive trust, and I rise in peace of mind. I release regret, I receive wisdom, and I rise with gracefulness. I release distraction, I receive presence, and I rise with clarity. I release resistance, I receive flow, and I rise with confidence. I release doubt, I receive knowing, and I rise with assurance. I release stress, I receive calm energy, and I rise with awareness. I release the pressure to be perfect, I receive freedom, and I rise just as I am. I release the fear of failure, I receive new chances, and I rise in my power. I release old stories, I receive new beginnings, and I rise with excitement. I release hesitation, I receive alignment, and I rise in full presence. I release what dims my spirit, I receive what lifts my soul, and I rise into the light of my truth. I let go of old weight, I am open to calm blessings, and I rise into steady joy. I release the past gently, I receive the present fully, and I rise into the beauty of my life right now. I am free to move forward with lightness, with peace, and with purpose. I receive each new day as a gift, and I rise with gratitude in my heart. I release tension from my body. I welcome ease into my being, and I rise with strength and softness. I breathe out the noise. I breathe in clarity, and I rise with grounded faith. I release outdated stories, and I step into the joy of who I am becoming. I am open to calm connections, fresh beginnings, and rising peace. I let go of chasing, and I receive the flow of what's meant for me. I rise with hope, and I am rooted in the freedom of a clear mind. I release fear, I receive trust, and I rise with courage. I let my body relax, I allow my heart to open, and I allow my spirit to lift. I receive this moment with full presence, and I rise into alignment. I no longer carry what isn't mine. I rise lighter, freer, and truer. I welcome simple joys, and I let them fill my life. I receive my life as it is, and I rise with deeper acceptance. I release control. I am open to grace, and I rise in trust. I am safe to rest. I am ready to receive, and I am willing to rise in my new life. I am releasing force. I am receiving flow, and I am rising with joy. I release the weight of perfection, and I rise in peace with who I am. I receive clarity through my stillness, and I rise with intention. I release old energy. I welcome new energy with open arms, and I rise renewed. I release the rush. I receive the moment, and I rise in mindful presence. I let go of old resistance, and I rise with trust in the flow of life. I receive each breath as an invitation to begin again. I release what no longer fits, and I rise into my true expression. I am free to welcome joy in ways that feel real to me. I receive love with ease, and I rise with warmth in my heart. I let go of the need to improve, and I rise, anchored in the truth that I am enough. I am open to blessings that match the peace I've made within me. I release the noise in my life. I receive the peace that I am waiting for, and I rise with clarity. I let myself feel fully, and I rise with deeper compassion. I receive the beauty of small things, and I rise with gratitude. I no longer hold what drains me, and I rise lighter each day. I release the old pace, and I rise with steady calm. I am open to life unfolding gently and joyfully. I let go of overthinking, and I rise with clear purpose. I receive the fullness of this season, and I rise in sync with its grace. I release what kept me small, and I rise into the space I was meant for. I allow new blessings to reach me with ease and with kindness. I release the pressure to rush, and I rise at the pace of my soul. I welcome support, I invite harmony, and I rise with a light heart. I trust the clearing in my life. I trust everything that is blooming, and I trust my ascension. I receive life with open hands, and I rise with an open heart. I am no longer bound by old fears. I rise with bold peace. I release resistance, and I rise into the flow that carries me forward. I receive what aligns, I release what constrains, and I rise in my own way. I release the weight of yesterday, and I rise into the freshness of today. I receive calm like a wave, and I rise steady in my spirit. I let go of overthinking, and I rise with gentle focus. I am free to rewrite my story and rise as the version I choose. I receive what nurtures me, and I rise rooted in self-love. I let go of doubt, and I rise anchored in quiet certainty. I release comparisons, and I rise in my own rhythm. I receive the magic of the present, and I rise with open wonder. I allow myself to be supported, and I rise held by grace. I am free from old tension, and I rise with relaxed strength. I release urgency, and I rise with patience in my own pace. I receive the sweetness of this season, and I rise in harmony. I let go of what isn't mine, and I rise with clean energy. I receive inspiration gently, and I rise with new and great ideas. I release guilt, and I rise in full permission to enjoy my life. I receive rest without apology, and I rise restored. I let go of noise that clouds my mind, and I rise in peace. I receive truth with softness, and I rise in quiet knowing. I release confusion, and I rise in focused presence. I am open to the beauty ahead of me, and I receive peace. I release the need to explain, and I receive trust in myself. I receive simplicity as my birthright, and I rise in lightness. I let go of what held me back, and I receive infinite confidence. I receive joy and happiness in the ordinary, and I rise with wonder. I am free to begin again, and I rise with renewed passion. I release tension from my thoughts. I receive stillness, and I rise with calm direction. I let go of outdated expectations, and I rise with fresh vision. I release the pressure to hurry, and I move forward with steady grace. I receive the moment fully, and I allow it to nourish me. I let go of what no longer serves me, and I open space for what feels right. I release past versions of myself, and I step into who I am becoming. I receive love with an open heart, and I carry it gently. I free myself from overthinking, and I lean into simplicity. I release fear of the unknown, and I step forward with inner trust. I welcome healing where I once held tension. I receive support with gratitude, and I allow it to guide me. I release comparison, and I celebrate the path that I am walking. I breathe in presence, and I exhale the past. I let go of proving, and I rest in being as I am. I receive joy without question, and I let it live in me. I allow love and happiness in my thoughts, my choices, and my day. I release urgency, and I move in harmony with my needs.
Matthew chapter 6. Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets, to be honored by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. And when you pray, Do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think they'll be heard because of their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. This, then, is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins. When you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces to show others they are fasting. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to others that you're fasting, but only to your Father who is unseen. And your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God.
My financial abundance overflows today. I am always present in the moment. The presence of joy in my heart releases an abundance of good in my life. I am open to receiving an abundance of wealth, health, and happiness. I was destined to be prosperous. I have abundance to share and spare. I am surrounded by abundance. My life is full of abundance. I always have what I need when I need it. My world is filled with an abundance of wealth, health, and happiness. Abundance surrounds me. Today I claim my share. contributions to society. My life is mine to create. I allow myself to have more than I have ever dreamed possible. I am known for my positive energy and abundant lifestyle. Money flows freely and abundantly into my life. I love having a prosperous career. I picture abundance for myself and others. I am surrounded by people who are eager to contribute to my abundance. By appreciating what I already have, I manifest more abundance. My prosperity thoughts create my prosperous world. I connect to my source and abundance comes my way. Miracles and magic surround me wherever I go. With God's guidance, my life is filled with joyous success and rich abundance. I have a large and steady permanent financial income now. I share my gifts generously with others. I accept others' gifts with appreciation. Wonderful things happen to me, for I live with an attitude of gratitude. I am worthy of all that my heart desires. I invite and allow good to come into my life. I love the exciting opportunities of wealth and abundance that come my way. I passionately live a life of abundance and success. I joyfully accept blessings of joy and abundance.
Super hexagon. Zen. Line.